Rey is the bestest ever. Kylo ain't gonna beat her, never. Vagina power is amazing. Dickless quack.
This could be the best Star Wars ever. Oh, no. Oh, what? Oh, f off. What?
7 what we want.
Oh, well, that sucked.
Oh my god, Empire would have gone roasted. If you look at the criticisms of Last Jedi.
This video is brought to you by the #1 website builder, Squarespace. Wow, can you believe we're coming up to the 8-year anniversary of the release of The Last Jedi? 8 years since we were promised that Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi was so good that he would be getting his own trilogy. So what better time to look back and relive how we were feeling back then? The shock, the horror, what had Disney done? Little did we know that back in 2017, it was only the beginning of the death of Star Wars. So let's hit that time machine and relive 2018 all over again. And we'll start with what was only my second YouTube video, a video about the strong women of Star Wars.
I'd like to personally thank Kathleen Kennedy for finally bringing strong, fierce women to film. Hang on, what?
She knew she had to speak out wherever she saw injustice and inhumanity.
How do you cover up making a terrible film? Distract and confuse. One of the main defenses used by the new Star Wars creators is that they bravely stood up to the oppression of women in film and took on the fearful, scared little men who couldn't take a strong woman in a story.
Get that chip off your shoulder. What's wrong with her? She's a woman, isn't she?
Check out this crazy statement by J.J. Abrams. And to think, I liked him.
Their problem isn't Star Wars, their problem is being threatened.
Hey, ease it up.
Star Wars is a big galaxy and you can sort of find almost anything you want in Star Wars. If you are someone who feels threatened by women and needs to lash out against them, you can probably find an enemy in Star Wars. You could probably look at the first movie that George did and say that Leia was too outspoken and she was too tough.
Yeah, the problem is no one is saying that about Leia. You have the same amount of lead women in Force Awakens that George had in Star Wars. 1. The new Star Wars creators act as if there's never been strong women in film before, and the shock has made us blind to the truth of how good these new Star Wars films are.
He has an amazing uniqueness to what he does. He also writes.
So let's remind Kathleen, JJ and Ryan about some of cinema's strong women that would kick the ass of the new Star Wars women. Well, obviously not Rey. No one can beat Rey. Not even the greatest Jedi to ever live.
Somebody has to save our skins. I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
You're braver than I thought.
Nice, come on.
Why are you still here? We don't need any of your help.
Why are they allowed to get away with this lie? Why doesn't anyone pull up these people when they make such stupid claims in interviews? This crap that anyone who has a problem with Last Jedi or Force Awakens is scared of strong women in film. Explain the love the same group of people have for, say, this film. Or this obvious choice. Are we just going to pretend that these films weren't popular? Here are another couple of small franchises that seemed to be a success, even though they had strong women. Even Harry Potter's strongest character was female. I don't remember anyone having a problem with Hermione Granger. One of the world's most popular shows would have to be Game of Thrones, and it has truly terrifying strong women. For fuck's sake, Arya Stark wears other people's skin and once fed a father his own children in a pie. And there's this one. Don't hear anyone complaining.
He writes amazingly fierce and independent women. He's also got a great sense of humor.
Ryan's version of strong is to give them abilities they haven't earned or motives that don't make sense.
What's our plan?
Our plan?
But wait! For those of you that are thinking that Rey is just like Luke,
Use the Force.
That's impossible!
Rey is the bestest ever. Kylo ain't gonna beat her never. Vagina power is amazing. Dickless Cryboy must be glazing. Rey, the Mary Sue. Rey, she gonna kill you. Rey, the Mary Sue is the bestest thing ever. Bitch!
I have to confess, I was one of the people that walked out of Force Awakens really happy. I thought Rey was a great new addition, and I look forward to seeing how she would develop and what backstory would explain her power. My mistake, she was already fully developed. They can't even get it right when they are given a blueprint to copy. Brienne of Tarth, played by Gwendolyn Christie, kicks ass in Game of Thrones. I haven't heard any complaining about her from the so-called man babies. And don't tell me the Game of Thrones and Star Wars fans don't cross over. She is literally one of the toughest people in the show. She beat the friggin' Hound. So what do they do with this great actor that can hold her own in any scene? Nothing. And according to IMDb, she has a scene time of 1 minute and 45 seconds in Force Awakens and another screen time of 1 minute and 45 seconds in Last Jedi. That's a total of 3.5 minutes over 2 films. And she was easily beaten. Did you see how much they pushed her in the trailers? What a waste.
What is something that Captain Phasma gets to do in this movie that no other Star Wars character has gotten to do before?
Captain Phasma gets to wear chrome armor.
We both know the gold's better. Disney, using the men are scared of strong women excuse, completely ignores the women who have a problem with Last Jedi and its quality. They don't even acknowledge them. And to the fans who go along with this and say things like, more men that hate women, we are talking about the standard of writing and how these characters are let down. We just want better women characters in Star Wars, not less.
When I wrote that character of Rose, she was genuinely a nerd. Like someone who I would have actually hung out with in high school. She felt like a character who didn't belong in a Star Wars movie.
Man, you had some boring friends. Most people want to have a bit of fantasy in their fantasy sci-fi film. It's the same for guys. Most guys don't look like this. They can't drive like this. They aren't as brave as this. They can't fight like this. Or be as cool as this. So the new Star Wars creators need to stop with the smokescreen. You aren't leading the way. If anything, you need to catch up. No one has a problem seeing strong women in films. They have a problem with bad writing, huge plot holes, and boring characters. Have you ever seen a company so quick to discredit and label their own loyal fan base? Hey Robert, how do Marvel handle the fans?
And ultimately, I think what Marvel has done is they have taken the high road and they've really listened to the audience and the fans, and there's been a lot of kind of creative synergy.
That takes me back to when I was young and full of hope. Little did I know that that video would change my life and introduce me to many people from all over the world, which I think's been a good thing. Next up is a bit of a favourite. You see, I couldn't believe what was being said online from the Disney Star Wars fan base, or as some of us call them, the shills. They loved The Last Jedi and were happy to say absolutely anything in its defence. So I give you stupidest things said defending The Last Jedi. This could be the best Star Wars ever. Oh, no. Oh, what? Oh, f*** off. What?
Save him what we love.
Oh, well, that sucked.
Oh my god, Empire would have gone roasted. If you look at the criticisms of Last Jedi.
If you do like Last Jedi, or even if you love it, great. No one can take that away from you. I think most people that have a problem with Last Jedi or the direction of Star Wars don't have a problem with you liking it. Our issue is here.
With this guy and this guy.
Let's jump in and look at some of the stupid things that are said by the Last Jedi defenders. It's made for children and man babies.
The idea was simply to do a high adventure film that I loved when I was a kid with meaningful psychological themes.
Yes, George has said he set out to make films for 12-year-olds. That was his target audience. Don't confuse his intention with the outcome. Check out how child-friendly he made the films. What does made for children even mean? What are you trying to tell me that people of all ages don't enjoy these films? Look at these Star Wars crowds, mostly adults. Clearly his audience moved beyond his original intention.
The fact is, Star Wars is out of this world.
So even though George created something that connected with people all over the world, of any age, you still get these idiots.
This is a film about space wizards intended for children.
No way! I cannot believe it. The guy is a wanker.
Lucas might have aimed at teenagers, but he touched something in all of us. Though someone should have warned the kids that in 40 years' time, Rian Johnson would be calling them assholes. If you can't defend the film, just shout man baby. The thing I find most ridiculous about the name calling is when it comes from people connected to Disney, people who rely on fan income for their career. Freddie Prinze Jr. voiced a character on Star Wars Rebels. His whole career is straight out of the pop culture handbook. Teen films, Scooby-Doo, writing for the WWE. Wait, what the fuck? The man he took playing in the backyard into a career choice. He must respect the fans. Nope, he doesn't even have to be provoked. Whether it's hating white dudes, fat shaming, implying misogyny, or just generally feeling superior. Winky face.
That hurts, Freddie.
But don't worry, Freddie also thinks Scooby-Doo should be taught in schools.
American literature, and I don't care what anybody, it is. It should be taught in schools.
Okay, whatever.
If you needed more proof of the lack of control Kathleen Kennedy has at Lucasfilm, just look at Rian Johnson's behaviour on Twitter. Bob Iger must be so impressed. His biggest creative decision each day seems to be whether to call someone a man baby or arsehole. Yep, that's what professionals do now. If they get any criticism, throw tantrums.
Shut up! Shut up!
Also, stop playing the nerd card. Nerds now rule the world.
She was genuinely a nerd. Like someone who I would have actually hung out with in high school.
Are all nerds as good as you?
Yes.
What do they hope to achieve with all this name calling? I have no idea. You just don't like change. What did Last Jedi bring that was new? I'll give you a minute. These things? The three original movies were all very different to each other. The characters grew, the environments changed, and there was always something new to look forward to. New Hope blew us away, but I'll never forget the first time the AT-ATs appeared. It was incredible. A lot of people see the OT as a set, but when they came out, each was their own adventure. Desert, space, snow, forest. It was all new. Then came the prequels where George expanded on his creation. No matter what you think of the dialogue or acting, the visuals are amazing and ahead of their time. George had ideas. Rian, not so much. And don't forget, the two biggest changes. Jedi training means nothing now. You just have it, and the Empire/First Order aren't scary. If you don't like it, just stop watching. Just leave. No. Just because Disney have a large checkbook doesn't mean they should automatically be given a tick of approval. This isn't George with a story that's been carrying around for years and an original vision. This is a corporation that are trying to milk money out of something that has been loved for 40 years. George did it because he was crazy. Rian is no creator. He was hired to shape a story that fitted with Kathleen Kennedy's narrative. He was also on limited time, something even he has stated he would be terrible at.
I don't think I could ever actually write for a living, write for hire, because I take so long to write, and I just it's bad, man. It's no good.
Try this as an example. Let's say I don't follow football, but I decide that Manchester United look exciting. I go to my first match and I sit next to these lifelong 3-generation supporters. They aren't happy with the team's performance and think the new management are idiots. I proceed to tell them, as a new supporter, that they should just stop watching football, or find another team, or just generally go away because you're not wanted anymore. My new fellow supporters then proceed to kick the living shit out of me. Would they be wrong to do so? Maybe the old fans have some weight to what they say. Maybe they've experienced the club at its best and want to see them continue being their best. People didn't like Empire.
God, Empire would have gotten roasted. If you look at the criticisms of Last Jedi, can you imagine what they would have said about Luke just getting his ass handed to him by Vader, and Han Solo that goes down without a fight and just gets...
Ryan, I'm going to have to call bullshit on that one. Maybe ask around.
Channel 2 News has learned that arts editor Dennis Cunningham loves the film. He's torn between an 8 and a 9. I'm not a critic or even a movie buff. I loved it. Those who hate such stuff, go kiss a Wookiee.
You don't even have to go back to 1980. I know kids that recently watched Empire for the first time after only ever seeing Star Wars. They loved it all. Ooh, voted best film of all time. Where do you get your facts, Ryan? One of cinema's greatest films, and Ryan doesn't understand it. Brilliant! Get this guy a Star Wars movie. Also, Ryan, Empire did something your film failed to do. It created a huge excitement and anticipation for the next movie.
Judging from the response across North America this week, Mr. Lucas has another big winner.
We've been here for 6 days and it's great!
In Canada, devotees turned out en masse, and theater owners see The Return of the Jedi as a kind of box office third coming.
Films have problems, and no films are perfect. I see people use this one a lot to defend the massive plot holes or even the whole Canto Bight scenes in Last Jedi. As a defense of the worst scenes, they say, all films have problems, and then they reference a Marvel film from 4 years ago as their argument. That's their gauge. There are thousands of films that are so close to perfect. Then there are many films that I would say are perfect. And when I say perfect, they give you the perfect viewing experience. Whether that's fun, exciting, dramatic, sad, scary, it's all in the execution. What was Last Jedi? Wasn't fun, wasn't exciting, the story was thin, the less said about Canto Bight the better. And please, the overrated throne room scene is amateurish at best. This doesn't mean you can't find mistakes in great films. It means that the storytelling outweighs any holes. Great films usually don't crap all over their own universe in telling a story, or have a whole 30-minute section that most people would agree should be cut out. Canto Bight, fuck, what a joke. Even the defenders have given up on this one. The whole sub-story was terrible.
Didn't need a left.
Yes, I know, the shark looks fake. The doc probably would have killed Marty. Like space wizards, cyborgs don't exist. Michael should have... Oh wait, hey, sorry, that's a mistake. That film is perfect. Then you have Last Jedi, where the whole film rests on a chase that doesn't make sense in the Star Wars universe. Genius. And at a budget of $250 million, it's a disgrace. You just don't understand it.
Yes, we do. It's no primer. If someone couldn't follow Last Jedi, I'd really have to question their ability to get to the cinema and back without hurting themselves or killing someone else. If you read the graphic novel, Rey downloads Kylo's training. What? Hyperspace would be too expensive as a weapon. Again, what? I've never seen a film that needs so much external help. Why can't we talk about the plot holes?
Because if we start talking about it, then we're going to be here all day talking about it, making diagrams with straws. It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter. It's bad writing.
Doesn't matter!
Diversity and women scare you. Star Wars for the first time is losing money. And I hate to tell you this, but it's losing money all over the world. All types of people didn't go to see Solo. Stop ignoring these other cultures and women who didn't like where Star Wars is heading. Is there really a fight? Are people more racist now than, say, the 80s? Are we more scared of women? I don't think so. Hollywood make their own rules and problems. They decide who can be a star and who can't. Is there anywhere else Harvey, Bill and Kevin could get away with their behaviour?
You disgusting, pill-popping, sexual deviant scum.
No, Hollywood's a special place, and when something goes wrong, they need to blame someone. Also, have some respect for the people that did have to fight to make it in times that were a lot harder than now. Star Wars has the most toxic fan base. No, the world has some toxic people, and they can be found anywhere.
Thank you.
Every person in the public eye receives some type of abuse. Yep, it's sad, but not all humans are lovely.
You fat bastard! You fat bastard! You fat bastard! You fat bastard!
The trouble with Hollywood is they pull this card when it suits them. Movie bombing, quick. Look at the hate the actors are getting. Daisy Ridley quits Instagram because of toxic fans. Nope. Kelly Marie Tran? Who knows? No one wants to ask her. Kelly did though release an article talking about her experiences growing up and the treatment of women like her in Hollywood. But not once does she mention social media. But hey, that's not going to stop the New York Times pushing Disney's PR spin. The studios are not going to take the blame. It's the fans' fault. And even if it's true, so she turned off Instagram. And with the carry on, man, I thought they'd turned off her life support. The dream job with a good paycheck should make up for some name calling, sticks and stones and all that. And if she thinks that her life would have been without nutcases if she wasn't a movie star, think again. I know a lot of people that would swap positions. Do you think this guy's having a good day at work?
I don't know if I have any advice for that, but just, don't take it too seriously because unfortunately those are the ones that make the most noise, but the majority of the people don't feel that way, so keep that in mind.
They did the same with Ahmed Best. One Jar Jar Binks. Ahmed seems like a nice guy. He recently tweeted about his struggles with the media and Hollywood since Phantom Menace. No mention of fans. But wait, the shills know better. Step up Brian Young, one of the biggest shills of them all. And guess who he works for? StarWars.com seems to breed a special hate for fans. So much so, Brian, like what was done with Kelly's article, chooses to show Ahmed zero respect by adding his own spin to Ahmed's story. Toxic fandom? If Brian's ego would let him read the quote that is just under his comment, Ahmed never mentioned the fans. He only mentioned the media. But hey, that doesn't fit Brian's view.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
One role doesn't make a career, nor should you let it. Geez, look at Stallone. He didn't let one bad role stop him. Most people in the public eye haven't got the luxury of hiding behind the creators. Sports stars, musicians, anyone in the public eye. It's all them. Actors constantly playing a role. Michael Caine once was asked if he'd ever seen Jaws the Revenge, a film that he starred in.
Oh, shit!
He said never. I hear it's terrible. However, I have seen the house it built, and that's terrific. What a legend. What a star. Look at how much money it made. I don't think you can really judge quality by profit, otherwise this film's really good, I think. It's Star Wars. People buy tickets in advance to see a Star Wars film. I'm sorry, did they give out refunds to the people that hated it? Because I must have missed mine. My ticket is counted in that figure, and I think it's a terrible film. Every single person who didn't like that film is also in that total. Imagine if they had given out refunds. Imagine how much money it would have made then. Would have been slightly lower.
I'm sorry, I made a bad mistake.
You're fucking right, you made a bad mistake.
It blows my mind that some people can't get their head around this one. I bought my ticket because of this awesome man. I thought I was going to see Luke Skywalker, not some pathetic loser. I also was mistaken to think that maybe some of the questions that JJ set up would be explored. We were taken for a ride. We were sold a piece of junk as a Star Wars film. Mark Hamill himself has tried to warn us.
He knew what was going on.
I said to him, I totally disagree with what you think about Luke.
He looked like he was going to be sick at the premiere. Look at that face. Is this a man that thinks he just watched a great movie? Sorry you didn't get the story you wanted. I remember it well. Going to see Empire Strikes Back with my little checklist of things I had to see to be satisfied. Huge four-legged walking tank things. Oh, little green puppet that is really wise. Oh, and I want to love him. I want a weird scene where Luke sees himself as Vader. Luke gets his hand cut off. Oh, and I want a big surprise. What if Ben is Luke's father? No, wait, fuck it. Make it Vader. Luckily, there was no surprises. George had guessed everything I'd wanted. Now, it doesn't work that way. We don't have a pre-written checklist. We want the wonder, the excitement. We want to be taken on a ride. We want that different story. The thing was, that's not Last Jedi. Last Jedi is like going to see a bad cover band. You know you should like it and you sort of recognise the songs, but... Bonus solo round. Stop saying no one went to Solo because of time of release and Star Wars fatigue.
How much would you be willing to sell that ticket for now that you've gotten it?
Presently I wouldn't.
Fatigue? What the fuck? People see Star Wars films multiple times. They'll go week after week to see the same film. You think they wouldn't go if there was a different film every month?
You know, Roy saw Star Wars 317 times.
What a joke. The Marvel fans are laughing at you. Hang on, they're the same people. Now it really doesn't make sense at all. Find me one person who didn't go because of fatigue or time of release, and I'll show you thousands of people who didn't go because of Last Jedi. And if I'm wrong, I'm sure Ryan will get his 3-picture Star Wars deal.
Is the idea of doing a new story on the big canvas of 3 movies in this world.
Yes. Yeah, they're not going to happen. He's not making any more Star Wars films.
You're demoted.
Pretend we're having an argument.
So, there are some of the crazy things that people say when they are defending Last Jedi. I'm sure the list will keep on growing. I'm sure the fanboys' tears mugs won't be the last stupid thing we see. It's sad how people will buy a corporation spin. Like Last Jedi all you want. No one's stopping me loving Nicolas Cage. And that love is strong. But if you're buying into all this crap regarding diversity, misogyny, man babies, open your eyes, look around. It was fans, not haters, that didn't like this film, and showed it by having no interest in Solo. You, Last Jedi defender, you are the perfect Disney consumer. You buy all their crap.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yes, I would buy that for $1. Now, quickly, we have to have a quick break to pay some bills before we head back down memory lane. A short break to thank our favourite sponsor, the #1 website builder, Squarespace. I know what you're going to say, Robot Head, my handsome friend. Why would I need a website? I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the other social garbage. Well, those places are okay for promotion, but you need a home to direct your clients to. Somewhere that's secure and that you can control. Somewhere that you won't get kicked off for no reason. Somewhere that won't just disappear one day because the government wants to ban it. Yes, you need a website to showcase you and your wonderful idea. And it couldn't be easier. Head over to Squarespace for a free trial and start with their Blueprint AI, Squarespace's AI enhanced website builder, to get yourself a fully custom website in just a few steps. Or you can grab one of their professionally designed website templates to get you started. Personalize your website with intuitive drag and drop editing, amazing styling options, and on-brand AI content. Squarespace also provides secure payments and client invoicing, so you can safely run your whole business straight from your website. And Squarespace lets you set up online courses with multimedia lessons. It also includes progress tracking and flexible pricing. Get started today by heading to squarespace.com/robothead, that's the important bit, and try Squarespace for free. And then when you are ready to take off, use the code ROBOTHEAD and you'll get 10% off your first purchase. Check out the link below. Head over to Squarespace today and get that idea out to the world. Okay, enough of that. Let's look at the worst spaceships ever. The Last Jedi bombers. Are these bombers impossible in the Star Wars universe? No. Are they illogical? I'd say, hell yeah! I mentioned in my last video that I would class the bombers at the start of Last Jedi as illogical. A bad decision by someone making a bad movie.
What making him understand?
Some viewers disagreed. Some even liked the whole video except for the criticism of the bombers. Yeah, you're clearly talking out of your ass. The bombs were magnetised. This franchise has outer space wizards. But the bombs are a what the fuck moment to you. The shit got some sort of gravity and they got dropped. Where else were they supposed to go? Then down. But you're all cool with it when a Y-Wing does a bombing run. There is gravity within the ship and the bombs are inside the ship. When they are inside of the bombing ship and are released, they begin to fall. Once they fall outside of the ship, they continue to fall because of momentum. Gosh, the bombs are fucking magnetic for the 100th time. Great video, but including the dumb bombs don't make sense argument really discredits the whole thing. Magnets work in zero gravity, dipshit. Let me explain. First, and to me, this is a big one, none of those explanations are shown in the film. A film should try to avoid raising questions that have stupid answers.
What was that?
I know what you're going to say. There are a lot of things we don't understand in Star Wars. We don't know how the ships fly. Well, we have a good idea what these things do, but what about the TIE fighters? Aha! This is where the wonder and creativity come in. We know we're in a place with technology we don't understand, but you know what we do understand? The concept of bombs dropping.
I understand.
A technology that's old even for us. It would be like showing a steam engine in the TIE fighter and expect us to believe this exists in Star Wars.
Bullshit.
A good story should give us enough information to feel that in their world, there are answers to how things work. Not give us information that makes us question their world. Questions like, how is this 56 years after this? Plus, I said they were illogical. Logical and possible are two different things. And I wasn't just talking about the bombs dropping, I was talking about the whole stupid design of the bombers. Everything about them, speed, maneuverability, design. Just because something could possibly work doesn't make it a logically good choice. I said they were illogical, not impossible. It's possible for me to pick a fight with Mike Tyson. Would it be logical to do so? How did Rian, a writer who seems to be void of original ideas, come up with the bombers? Well, it's common knowledge that George Lucas used World War II fighters as inspiration for how the X-Wings flew. This makes sense. Air-to-air combat, dogfights, formation flying. As for the bombers, well, George realised that copying that technology made no sense, so he came up with this. The Y-Wing bomber. So, what's good enough to inspire George is, well, hey, a new idea for Rian. And what film did Rian copy? I'd take a guess and say Memphis Belle. Memphis Belle is a 1990 film about the true story of a World War II bomber and its crew. The 90s, 2000s seem to be Rian's favourite era to rip off. In the film, the bombers have to make a bombing run over Germany. This was highly dangerous as the bombers were a lot slower and less manoeuvrable than the fighter craft that could take them out. It's an amazing story and incredible because it's true. So this is the name of the Memphis Belle model. And this is Rian's bomber. Remember, Rian had the freedom to design anything he wanted. These bombers should have shown his creativity. Sadly, they did. Now again, the main problem with this film is that it is film 8 in a set of 9. We have seen space battles before in Star Wars, space battles that were fast and exciting, space battles that had a sense of, well, space, and that thing missing in this film, fun. Lots of movement, camera angles, what they like to call good direction. In Rian's world, everything is virtually on one plane. Straight lines, slow. Where is the creative direction? Why are they in such tight formation?
Bombers, keep that tight formation.
This seems a bad decision. Now, they must have used these bombers before. In what situation would they have worked well and all survived? Just imagine them in some of the other battles.
Bombers, keep that tight formation. Bombers, keep that tight formation. Bombers, keep that tight formation.
They are so bad, they don't even need a functioning TIE fighter to take one out. Did I say take one out? Oh no, half a TIE fighter can take out 3. Nearly as good as Rey's triple kill shot on Crate. Look how happy she is. Everyone's about to die. Oh, hang on, this is ripping off New Hope. But they just escaped with their lives? She is watching everyone die. What a psychopath. Another reason using slow-moving, badly manoeuvring bombers in space is they are better at hitting things that don't move, like the ground. Oh wait, that wouldn't work because they are magnetic, so would be useless bombing buildings, land, etc. I know, that's probably wrong, They get thrown out by magnets. I don't care. So they have to bomb targets that can move. The Dreadnought or any other ship could just move out of the way. Up, down, left, right, front, back, or spin. I don't know, hyperspace. Anyway, you get the idea. These things are creeping up and it just sits there. Why? Why? Fuck me, this film is stupid. The other stupid thing is because of the way they work and that they're trying to hit something that can move, the bomber has to be extremely close to the target, which means this happens. This makes it a fucking suicide mission. Like they are kamikaze pilots. What the fuck, Rian Johnson? You racist. Stereotype much? Rian was even so pumped about his World War II space fantasy bombers that he even had some messages painted on the bombs, like they occasionally did in World War II. I bet these guys filled the planes with fuel before wasting time like this. Here's Rian gloating about his creative achievement on Twitter. And here's what they came up with. Hi Snoke, and Han says hi, with a smiley face. The guy was slaughtered like the day before by his son, but smiley face. Let's ignore the question of who connected with Han wrote that. This is the best they could come up with. 2 versions of Hi. This should be one of the biggest films ever made, and this is the effort they put in. 2 versions of Hi. Nothing about the Force, revenge, killing. Nope. Hi. I know you're going to say, who cares? You don't even see him in the film. And you're right. I don't care about the stupid bombs, but this is the crap that Rian Johnson was trying to work into this movie. I want World War II bombers. Don't worry about Morning Han. We have bombs to paint. Fuck. A shaved orangutan would be more creative. Speaking of creative, would they still be flying X-Wings and TIE fighters? I know this is JJ's fault, but George had the ships evolving. But somehow, as soon as the good guys were in charge, technology stopped moving forward. And you know, when I say good guys, obviously the slave children's existence under the good guys' rule was pretty shit. They'd probably welcome the First Order. Could be a nice change. They might point out to the slave owners that it'd probably be cheaper to use droids. Wouldn't have to house or feed them. That 30 years of peace since the fall of the Empire really didn't extend to the slave children. So somehow in our world, we have gone from this to this. But in Star Wars, we have gone from this to this. Even in the cartoons, they are doing something interesting. No, I don't watch them. I know, everyone says I should. One more thing, I keep hearing about the massive payload. You don't think this would have fit into another ship? What about 2 other ships? What about 3? You know, 3 ships that could actually get to their target and back again? There's no logical reason why anyone would have bought these ships. Do you think whoever sold them the ship was like some used car salesman? Once they're off the lot, it's your problem. What the SF-17 has a hyperdrive? Why didn't they just... This movie is so fucked. No, I wasn't going to say this movie is so fantastic. I still wonder how on earth those bombers made it into the film. But anyway, we must move on. Now the big one, my most popular video of all time. The one, the only, and at 13 million views, Disney doesn't understand lightsabers. Let's go. Roll the film.
What is it? Your father's lightsaber. An elegant weapon, but a more civilized age. He was the best star pilot in the galaxy, and a cunning warrior. Father's lightsaber.
Lightsabers, the coolest weapon of all time. Well, they used to be. Before the dark times. Before... Is there a more iconic weapon than a lightsaber? It instantly tells you what universe you're in. An amazing addition by George that added to the mystique of the Jedi and the Sith. They were part of being a Jedi, so much so that we are told that building a lightsaber is one of the final steps of a Jedi's training.
I see you have constructed a new lightsaber. Your skills are complete.
They were magical, and I wanted one.
That is your first lesson. Learn it well. The Force is my lightsaber.
Well, not anymore. Not only are they not special anymore, Disney doesn't even know how they work. Let's take a look. And yes, don't worry, we will get to that throne room scene. Oh, that's shit. For a start, I'm going to jump to the one thing that gets my little George Lucas fan club blood boiling. It's a lightsaber, not a laser sword. Sorry, Last Jedi defenders, I know this fits perfectly with space wizards.
The Star Wars lightsaber.
The Force lightsaber.
Star Wars lightsaber.
New Star Wars lightsaber.
Force action lightsaber.
Star Wars electronic lightsaber.
The Force unleashed lightsaber.
I saw your laser sword. Only Jedis carry that kind of weapon.
I assumed little Anakin called it that because he lived on a shithole in the middle of nowhere and had heard about the Jedi in legend. Kind of like me pronouncing nunchucks and guessing which martial art they go with. Nunchucks? Something like that.
I'm gonna walk out with a laser sword and face down the whole First Order.
Why would Luke call it that? He has been told it's a lightsaber his whole life.
Your father's lightsaber.
A new lightsaber. His lightsaber.
Ah, yes. A Jedi's weapon.
Is that a laser sword, Johnny? No, it's a lightsaber, you stupid fuck. This is why no one likes you.
Yes, it's a fucking lightsaber, you twats. Some have said Luke called it a laser sword to show Rey how stupid the idea of him helping was. It worked. It sounded stupid. Hang on, that's what he ends up doing anyway. Oh well.
I'm gonna walk out with a laser sword and face down the whole First Order.
Let's look at the lightsaber and try and work out why is Disney so confused. George gave us two versions of the lightsaber. In the OT, it was a mythical weapon linked greatly to the Force. The power of it was built up over time. The fights were more about the emotional weight than the skills. Two old friends meeting again. The depth of a father testing his son. The son trying to save the father. It's really not until the third film that we see Luke use the lightsaber in a controlled manner. And only once do we see a non-user handle a lightsaber. Wasn't even in a fight.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
With the prequels, George had a chance to show us what a fully trained Jedi could do with a lightsaber. And it was glorious. We had seen it as Luke and Vader's weapon. Now we were seeing it as a Jedi weapon. A powerful, scary weapon that required training and Force powers to control. You didn't see anyone just pick up a lightsaber and start swinging it around until, well, they started off strong. I'm in, take my money. I'm liking this. Man, he is powerful. No one's beating that dude. Then there was a bit of this. Whoa! Then they built up the importance of the weapon. I like this scene, but 2 films later, we still don't know why she saw those visions. Then we have this, completely diluting the importance of the weapon. Oh, it's just like a baton, except it can burn straight through your own head. And this guy happens to have a buzzy baton that can block lightsabers. That's handy. To be fair, this guy's not bad. He actually does better than Kylo does later. Whoa! Nothing turns on a girl more than slaughtering your father right in front of her. What? Finn's gonna take on Kylo, a trained Jedi? Isn't Kylo just gonna... Right! Oh, good. Oh, no, hang on. He's gonna fight it out. Just put any other Force user that is trained with a lightsaber in Kylo's place, and it's ridiculous that Finn isn't beaten instantly. But we'll ignore that for a second. I'd been on board for most of this movie, but the first real sign I had that this was a Disney movie was this. Oh, sorry, that's not really how it went. It was more like this. A lightsaber just went straight up the middle of his body and...
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch?
We have seen limbs flying off since 1977, but now you can be hit with one, somehow knocked out, question mark, and not be split in two. They actually filmed a scene where Poe had sewn up his jacket. That was the damage that was done. Look at Finn, he's fine. Now it's Rey's turn. I've already been through how stupid this scene is in my Star Wars, Strong Women Lie. Check it out. Ryan gave it 5 stars. It's a great video. I highly recommend it. I keep hearing that she grew up defending herself with a staff, a two-handed weapon you can rest against your body without dying. She'd never even turned on a lightsaber before. Plus, these guys have all harnessed the power of the Force. They have all trained with masters. They're on a different stratosphere. She has fought off vagrants. And you don't go from this to this. Bang! Oh, he's fucked. That head is gone. Wait, what the fuck? A scratch? Are you serious? 2 people in 5 minutes hit with a lightsaber and no loss of organs. Quick note, Kylo's helmet is cool. This should have fucked him up so bad that he needed to keep that helmet on to stay alive. You know, like his grandfather. Sorry, Reylo fans. You freaks. So now lightsabers can hit you, but do very little or mysterious injuries. So they're not as lethal. But wait! Kathleen Kennedy thinks Rogue One is boring. So quick, Force! yes, thank you. I did a Force joke. Force a lightsaber scene into Rogue One. Okay, we are back to lightsabers slaughtering people again. Cool, I like it. Okay, this shows they don't understand Luke more than they don't understand lightsabers. We'll move on. This is training. Looks like a child playing in the backyard. Who choreographed this film? Like a hot knife through butter, but barely breaks the skin if you hit with it. Disney, which is it?
Doctor, you're wanted on the phone. Did you do it?
Ridiculous. Ha! The only time 2 lightsabers touch. And Rey has beaten both of these people. Rey is God. And here we go. We made it. The overrated throne room scene. You may know of the disappearing knife, but that ain't the worst of it. It's supposedly one of the greatest looking scenes of all time. What if I told you I know which film they copied? A film made 78 years before Last Jedi.
Small and weak.
I am the great and powerful.
Probably just a coincidence. Here we go. Whoa, she's strong. 2 other Force users in the room, but doesn't stop Rey. What the fuck is this guy doing? She's on the other side of the room. Nice pose. Here we go. The worst choreographed fight in the history of mankind. Why are you spinning? Stop spinning. Kylo just hit the ground. And look at the other guy. He's about to go for his sword instead of his head. Where are you going? Why is this guy running off? Hang on, she just kicked 3 people with 1 kick. What the fuck? This is awesome. That kick's embarrassing. Just quickly, who are they fighting for? This is their new boss now. What would have happened if they'd killed Kylo? Like, who would they then answer to? Very confused men. Man, she's good. 2 points here. The worst thing to have in a spaceship is fire, but these guys stand in front of a massive wall with weapons that light it up like a Christmas tree.
So what's the matter with you?
Secondly, what the fuck is this guy doing? This isn't something you slow down to see. This guy is literally waiting his turn. What are you doing over there, buddy? Fucking get into the fight. Oh good, more screaming. Remember when Jedis would focus? See this guy? This is my favourite part. He's about to throw his weapon away before charging in. Literally, throw it out of the shot so he can die. Roll the tape. What the fuck? Rian Johnson was sitting there watching this. Amazing. More floor hitting. Old Kylo doesn't seem to have much control. Here we go. You've all seen it. The disappearing weapon. Why they didn't remove it from the start of the cutscene, who knows? Now you see it? And now it's gone. But that's not it. He has another chance to kill her. And then the move that just fucks me off. That arm was pushing against her. As soon as she let go, that weapon should have gone clean through her face. And then, bang. That leg should be gone. What? Just nicked again? Okay, headshot. What? Why isn't his head off? What's with all the just breaking the surface? The nicks, the flesh wounds. It's their strong arm, you say. Just doesn't protect the face. Now people will say, well, you slowed it down. No one will ever notice. Or better still, I'm nitpicking. Lift your standards, people. They spend months working on these fights. Look at the training they went through for the prequels. See how many mistakes you can find in those films. How did so many mistakes get past so many people? This isn't a one-take scene. They would have done this over and over and over. Is it the lack of talent, or do they just not care?
It's just working out the moves for that.
This bullshit. Just walk up and grab it. The big Rian Johnson screw you. Literally breaking George's creation. Please make it stop. Not only is the dialogue in this scene atrocious,
I will have killed the Last Jedi.
wrong. The choreography again is terrible. It's backyard Matrix. I can't believe I paid to see this. And that's it. The coolest weapon of all time, a Jedi weapon, has now lost all its wonder. Like the Force, it's no longer special. Anyone can now use them. They can split rocks, but not bodies or faces. They can show you visions, but only once, and they don't mean anything. They can start legends,
Father's lightsaber,
and then get tossed away. It's so confusing.
I'd rather not do this now.
Yeah, me too. Disney, why did Rey take Luke's lightsaber when she left the island? It's not hers to take. What? Ah, fuck. You don't know what hate is until you have a video with that many views, which turns the Disney shill army against you. Good times. But most annoyingly, the way lightsabers have been portrayed since that video came out has gotten worse with Disney. Now, lightsabers don't even kill people. Might be time for part 2 of that video. But that's a good story for another day, because now we have to look at the action of The Last Jedi with a video that has one of my favourite intros. Roll the tape.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. That's the spirit!
What is the point of all this if we can't blow up 3 tiny cruisers?
Good question, Hux. Very good question. We'll get to that. Action has always been the cornerstone of cinema. It's been there from the beginning, and it comes in all shapes and sizes. From the silent era, the classics, westerns, war movies, the craziness of the 70s, 80s and 90s, and today. We all love it, and a lot of our favourite films and directors are known for it. Now don't get me wrong, we all love a bit of romance. And drama may win the awards, but action gets us to the cinema. Good action will also have a sense of reality, even if that reality is set off in a far-off world. We want to feel in their world these things could happen, because we all know when something doesn't feel right, and even the greats get it wrong sometimes. Good action should bring us something new. It should always be exciting, and it should never, ever be boring. This brings us to, yes, you guessed it, drumroll please, Big Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi. Now, I've already talked about the ridiculous bombers. Please, no more magnet talk. And the incredible throne room scene. Oh, that touched a nerve. This time it's that exciting chase and the final battle.
Fucking assholes.
The chase in The Last Jedi must be one of the most boring and stupid plots put to film. If this was in a weekly sci-fi series, it wouldn't hurt to miss it. People, we have all seen Star Wars before. We have seen other sci-fi and fantasy films. We all have an imagination. A slow chase based around a fuel problem. This is the best Lucasfilm and Rian Johnson could come up with to stretch our imaginations. And we all know, if you want to have a fuel problem combined with a chase, this is how you do it. It has curving torpedoes. It has ships that not only stop but fall backwards when they run out of fuel. Self-sacrifice for no reason. Stop steering. Go to the other ship.
Spin it on, Admiral.
Where are you going, Ren? You just going to pop a bit of a handbrake here to get out of here? Seriously, how the fuck does he get out? He's in a tunnel with a dead end that's about to blow up. He must have some cool maneuver to get out. If he does, can we see it? The choice of what to show and what not to show in this film is mind-boggling.
Yeah, mind-boggling. You know, when things are so crazy, it gets your thoughts all trapped like in a bottle.
The worst example of completely lazy storytelling is...
What happened? What happened? She took Snoke's escape craft.
That sounds interesting. Can we see that? And she met up with Chewie. Wow. She escapes Kylo, runs around an enemy ship with no weapons, finds Snoke's escape pod, steals it, and rendezvous with Chewie. All off screen. Amazing. She just jumps from here to here. You think the protagonist escaping would be an interesting part of the story. I hope the Avengers Endgame isn't so lazy. Tony, you're back. Yep. Escape pod. Oh, tell me about it. No, not important. Back to the chase. Ships just come and go. Remember they're running for their life? Why don't they try and save some of the other people on the shuttles that have hyperdrive? They could have packed this with people. What about the Falcon? That could have saved a few. Maybe one of them should have brought back some fuel. But the line that turns this from just a bad writing decision into one big-ass plot hole.
But you're watching movies wrong.
Piss off, Tool, is this line.
We can't blow up 3 tiny cruisers.
Well, they're faster and lighter, sir.
Sorry, what?
Well, they're faster and lighter, sir.
They're lighter? Things don't weigh anything in zero gravity. Mass, yes. Weight, no. Look at the size of these things. I reckon this thing would pick up some speed. Let's agree for some strange reason the ship with the massive thrusters can't catch them. What about the Star Destroyers? Do they also have the top speed that is exactly the same as Snoke's ship? Wow, that is super convenient for the plot. Light speed anyone?
No light speed. It's not my fault.
If only someone had remembered that Star Destroyers have light speed.
At that close range, we won't last long against those Star Destroyers.
Okay, so what about all the fighters just sitting there? Even when they did attack, how many did they send? I think it was 3 plus Kylo. This group of, well, who really knows how many people, are such a threat. They just blow up Starkiller Base. They must be destroyed, but fuck it. Just send a couple of fighters. Why? They have hundreds, if not thousands of TIE fighters. Why wouldn't you send them? This could finish the war.
Can't cover you at this distance. Return to the fleet.
When is the Empire / First Order worried about protecting their fighters? So this amazing space chase only works as long as we all forget everything we've seen in the previous films. I don't know what's more surprising, an audience that can turn off their brains that far, or the staff at Lucasfilm that don't care. Did someone say greed over quality? You do know there are writers and directors that can fix these problems. The bit that really adds to the long list of slaps to George's beautiful hairy face. What? Is that all of this, everything we've enjoyed for 40 years, started with a chase. A chase that changed not only movies, but pop culture forever. An opening shot that we'd never seen before. It was thrilling. The Star Destroyer felt like it went on forever, and it went for a total of 90 seconds. Come on, Ryan, what's your new great out-of-this-world space fantasy story? What? A space chase that goes for 2.5 hours? Out of the millions of options to go with, this is the one you're gonna choose? The final battle. Our hero's going against all odds to take on the First Order. Ryan's really going to show us his skills as a director here. Oh well, that is a lot of people. Oh, and they have ships. Hold up, hang on, wait a minute. Let's back this up a bit. Why are nearly all of the Resistance sent outside to fight TIE fighters and AT-ATs to protect Leia and a handful of people? Here they are, outside a large blast-proof door that may get breached, getting slaughtered when they could be behind said large door being protected from air attack and walkers. What military genius thought of this?
We gotta take out that cannon.
Sanitation.
Should we stand in front of the door or behind the door? Are you fucking stupid? These aren't the gates to a city where a population is at risk. The only thing to protect is themselves.
The Resistance is in that mine.
No, they're not. They're all out here. There's like 6 people inside. Oh, you mean Leia. Give yourself up, woman. Save the others. Look at how many troops there are. Look at the size of this cave. You don't think it would have made more sense to have hundreds of troops waiting inside to pick off the First Order as they walk through the small hole? A group of people this stupid deserve to die.
Get that shield door down!
Nice writing, Ryan. So instead of defending the cave once the door has been breached, they all go outside to protect the door. Brilliant! Wow, look how far away the First Order landed. Would have been nice to see how they landed the AT-ATs, but hey, you have to copy Empire. So they're heading straight at them, and do they have a plan? Because they don't fire a single shot. They drive straight at them, fly around a bit, and then run away. What am I meant to get from this scene? Most piss-weak battle ever. Come on, some of cinema's best battles are in no-win situations. That doesn't mean you can't take out some of the enemy. At least fire a shot. There's no glimmer of hope, no feeling of, look, they could win. They don't even damage a walker, let alone take one out. The saddest part of watching a losing battle is seeing the hope fade in our heroes. Seeing personal sacrifice, you want to feel they came so close but still failed. We get none of that. Surprisingly, Rey is the only person to take out any of the enemy, and not just one at a time, as I've mentioned in a previous video.
I like this!
You fucking would. You're better than Han Solo at it. She never misses. Being unbelievably good is not the problem. I love you. Just give us a hint as to why.
Blow that piece of junk out of the sky!
All fighters!
That doesn't seem a good military decision. All of them?
Throw them off! All of them! Oh, they hate that ship!
They do? How do they even know that ship? I get Kylo, but the others? Has old Rennie been complaining about his dad and his ship again? Has everyone else just wanted to destroy it to shut him up? Even if they'd heard about the ship that blew up the second Death Star, how? Fuck knows. How would they know that this is the same ship? They haven't even been at war for 30 years.
This ship hasn't flown in years!
What in this world was once a rust bucket with a few tricks
What a piece of junk!
is now fucking famous and invincible. So without firing a single shot, they decide to turn around. Okay.
It's too late, don't do this!
No!
For a character that has been totally wasted, this would have given Finn some reason to exist. Have you ever stood near anything hot? If metal is melting here, the top of your unprotected head would be fucking melted. So Finn's doing us all a favour and sacrificing himself when, bang! The sack of potatoes jumps through a wormhole and saves him. How did she get there so fast? Look at how far back she is. Heading in the opposite direction, she not only turned around, she flew twice as fast, made a left-hand turn, and precisely took him out. I don't even care they both survived the crash, which seems unlikely. This is B-grade direction on an A-grade budget. We have directors like George Miller who can make a 2-hour action orgasm, and Ryan can't piece together a 10-minute scene to make sense. Great choice, Kathleen.
Like a group that's saying, okay, everyone tweet Rian Johnson those at the same time. All from Russian accounts.
Are you serious?
Russian accounts exclusively.
Then after Rose sexually harasses Finn.
Bro, not cool.
And potentially kills everyone in the process. We are meant to believe Finn drags her back fucking miles. Hold up, what happened to all those resistance fighters? If they escaped back into the cave, they all disappeared. Did they all die? If they did, where are the bodies? Could we see what happened to them? Did they fight bravely? Hang on, they've already disappeared when the cannon starts. Who shot down these TIE fighters? Rey. I bet it was Rey. We have been rooting for the rebels for 40 years. By the way, rooting means something quite different in Australia.
Your gun is digging into my hip.
For 40 years, if you're going to kill off what's left of the rebellion, shouldn't it have some meaning? Can't we give George's legacy some dignity? We don't even see one act of heroism from the troops. No feelings whatsoever. They're here, then they're gone. Bit embarrassing. This guy did way better action scenes. That's awkward. So we are left with setups that have no imagination.
They've tracked us.
We'll be out of fuel.
They're faster and lighter.
Them half-gutted skim speeders.
Take out that cannon.
And meaningless payoffs with lots and lots of running away. Last Jedi has some of the worst action you will ever see in a big budget movie. And not just any movie, a Star Wars movie. It's boring and fuck me, it doesn't make any sense. That's what happens when a producer will only hire directors they can dictate to. Come on, Kathleen, back it up a bit. What is it with you and directors?
how we're gonna win. Not fighting what we hate, saving what we love.
Man, revisiting Last Jedi really brings up that feeling of, how do you say it? Hate? Hate for one particular little roundhead. Well, hold on to that hate because the next video really gets the blood boiling. We deal with Ryan's insistence that The Empire Strikes Back would have been, in his words, roasted if it was released today. In fact, according to him, it wasn't really liked back in the day when it was released. Well, he didn't like it anyway.
George Lucas, all in favour?
Yeah, we need the dues.
Good. George Lucas will now be always loved and honoured. Next slide, please, D-Day. Just a minute. Just settle down. This is Rian Johnson. He's a legacy from Kathleen Kennedy. He loves Empire Strikes Back.
Oh my God, Empire would have gone roasted. If you look at the criticisms of The Last Jedi, can you imagine what they would have said about Luke just getting his ass handed to him by Vader? Oh my God, they would have...
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm still talking to Lucasfilm. They're figuring out what they're doing, and we'll see what happens.
That's right, we are back here again. Rian Johnson is still spreading the word that The Empire Strikes Back was not liked at the time of release. He even agrees that Empire was polarising until the mid-90s. Yes, over a decade after its release. Bullshit. Why, Ryan? Why do you keep doing this? I think I know why. Recently, Ryan's been on the big publicity train for his new film Knives Out.
CSI KFC?
Mark Ryan, another Ryan, at least he spells it correctly. Mark Ryan from Up Rocks recently interviewed Ryan, and as you would expect, he went full shill mode. Oh, I do hope they became buddies.
You have a literal Nazi in the movie who learned to be one from the internet.
What the fuck? Surely that's a mistake. Literal Nazis. Maybe someone should explain to Ryan this happened? So we'll ignore the fact that Ryan thinks he's fighting real Nazis and focus on another bit of lunacy he likes to spread. How The Empire Strikes Back was badly received.
Younger people are surprised to learn that Empire Strikes Back wasn't the consensus best Star Wars movie until maybe even the 90s. It was polarising for quite some time.
Right, that's the thing. But as a kid, I distinctly remember being disappointed by The Empire Strikes Back.
Polarising. Two completely opposing groups. Now come on, Ryan. Okay, I've touched on this before.
Those who hate such stuff, go kiss a Wookiee.
But Ryan just keeps saying it. So let's dig deeper.
Oh my God, Empire would have gone roasted. If you look at the criticisms of The Last Jedi, can you imagine what they would have said about Luke just getting his ass handed to him by Vader?
The reason young people are surprised to learn that the film was polarising for over a decade is because it's a fucking lie.
Asshole!
One that has been pushed by this tool since his film wasn't as well received by the public as he would have liked. Films that weren't well received at the time of release and then went on to be appreciated are well known. They are well documented. As an example, The Thing. I love this movie, but it's no secret that when it was released, it wasn't well received. No one lies about it because no one cares to. Blade Runner, Shawshank Redemption, Fight Club have all gone from unloved to classics.
Shatner. I'd say William Shatner.
It's not that uncommon. It also isn't a secret that surprises young people.
It's called my secret formula. Yes, and I feel my eyes blinking already. Hello?
Remember the stupid bit in Force Awakens where major events that happened only 30 years before are thought to be just myths?
It's true. All of it. The Force, the Jedi, all of it.
The Jedi were real.
Yes, stupid, I know, because there would be millions of people still living that would have witnessed or lived through those events. Well, guess what? Ryan's retelling of 1980 is just as stupid. It's quite easy to find people that were there. Try asking them. Now, 1980 had a lot of very serious films coming out. Some critics might not have gotten on board with George's space fantasy.
The winner is Robert De Niro, The Raging Bull.
Last Jedi defenders love to spin Empire's reception by quoting the same negative lines from the same few reviews. The claims of the reviewers being divided is very overstated, with the majority loving the film, and even the critics that did hate the film can't help but admit they're in the minority. But as we know, professional film critics don't give us a clear picture of what the public was thinking.
No, we don't care about the movie. You mean, where's the movie? What? Don't care about Star Wars.
Now it's true, people were surprised by the ending. It is one of, if not the first film, to be finished on an open-ended cliffhanger.
Hang on a minute, lads. I've got a great idea.
It is a true middle film with no conclusion. Most films up to then had a nice little ending to tie that adventure up. Even after Empire, films like Indiana Jones went back to each film being a complete standalone story. Happy ending, guy gets girl. The exception at the time was the Back to the Future franchise. Back to the Future 2 was one of the few films to copy the Empire formula, so much so that it even showed clips from the third film at the end of movie 2. Cheeky bastards. Today we are way more accustomed to a film series being planned ahead or straight out doing an Empire, but back in 1980 it was surprising. That doesn't mean it took a decade to be loved.
Princess, we'll find Han. I promise.
The fans were left desperate for more. But did they like it? If only there was some award that was voted for by the people.
As the American public awards its favorite stars, TV shows, movies, and music.
That old winner is, my goodness, it's The Empire Strikes Back.
Favourite motion picture at the People's Choice Awards in 1981. They're voted for by the public. Maybe the competition was a little weak that year. I mean, did anything else come out in 1980 that the public would have enjoyed? And the winner was Empire. My vote would have been for Vicious and Nude. I haven't seen it, but it looks fantastic. Remember when Billy Dee was considered important? Ah, good times. So the polarising film that would have been roasted beat some of the most loved and respected films ever made to be voted most popular.
It's nice to win an award that represents a people's award that's a result of democracy in action.
In fact, the film was so popular that after its original release in 1980, it was re-released in July of 1981 and again in November of 1982.
One of the best things that ever happened is about to happen again.
That's right. The film that Ryan would have you believe was poorly received was re-released 2 more times within 2 years of its original release to satisfy demand. It made more money than the next 6 top movies of 1980. Combined. That would be like The Last Jedi making $5 billion more than Beauty and the Beast. Not bad for such a polarising film that, in Ryan's words...
Oh my god, Empire would have gone roasted if you look at the criticisms of Last Jedi.
In fact, if you adjust for inflation, Empire comes in at number 13 on the all-time top earners, and we have to go all the way down to position 44 to find Last Jedi. That doesn't even take into account America alone has increased its population by nearly 100 million people from 1980 to 2017. There's a few extra people to sell tickets to. Fucking calm down, 1980. Look at those films. What a way to start the decade. Cheech and Chong made more than Caddyshack. The war on drugs never had a chance.
Do you know that marijuana can affect a person's physical and sexual growth?
Yes, in a laboratory test, female animals treated with the active component in marijuana experienced a 44% death rate among their offspring.
Thanks, Hoff. I'll never take drugs. Yes, I know. Your uncle's girlfriend's best friend's wife's brother didn't like Empire when it came out. Yes, there are always a few.
The raves for the early Star Wars have been so violent and so extravagant. Obviously, let's face it, they are for children or for childish adults. They're not for adult mentalities. There's a little film called Tender Mercies, which is not a children's movie. That is the sort of thing that I would take my children if I had them.
Still say young at heart. And I would say not that I'm childlike, but that he is old at heart.
Yes, there are always a few.
There you go.
Now, if there was such a polarising reaction to Empire, if the fans wanted to roast it, surely it would have been mentioned when Return of the Jedi came out. I mean, that was only 3 years later, not the 10 that Mark stated and Ryan agreed with, for people to come around to liking Empire.
And theater owners see the Return of the Jedi as a kind of box office third coming.
Yet imagine the reviews for Return of the Jedi would be mentioning how the biggest film of all time, Star Wars, was followed by a polarising, disappointing Empire. If you look at any article around the time of Solo's release, or even articles regarding the upcoming rise of Skywalker, journalists can't help but mention the fan divide, usually mocking the people that didn't like it, painting anyone that had a problem with Last Jedi as haters. But no, there is not one Return of the Jedi review mentioning Empire's poor reception, no mention of how the film polarised people, no footage of fans hoping for something better than what they'd got with Empire. There is just scenes of thousands of fans wanting to see more.
Return of the Jedi is now sweeping the continent, with long lineups that started days before the film even opened.
We're just fanatics out here waiting on Return of the Jedi. 3 years in the making, we were waiting for this.
Some people don't idolize Darth Vader like I do. See, I want him to get Luke.
I guess Darth Vader will die. I'm not sure. I hope he doesn't. I love his black.
Now let's compare that to the film that followed Last Jedi. This is what you see when people love the previous film. This is what you see when you damage a franchise.
Can you imagine what they would have said about Luke just getting his ass handed to him by Vader, and like Han Solo that goes down without a fight?
The reason Ryan's statement about Vader and Luke seems so out of touch to so many people is that it attempts to remove all context from the scene. You know, context, it's pretty important to storytelling. Without context, we don't know whether we should be feeling scared, happy, excited, or fearful. Happy Clown gives out balloons. Black Widow murders Bruce Banner. Selfish man blows up building. Yes, remove context and a scene can be whatever you want. So yeah, context is super important. And Ryan's not the only one to remove all context to defend Last Jedi. It's the shill go-to.
By the logic of these fans, Luke would never turn his lightsaber onto someone he holds compassion for, and certainly not for a member of his own family. And to that, all I have to say is,
I think you guys are selectively remembering this movie.
So what our guest Shill is suggesting is that Luke igniting his lightsaber over Ben is exactly the same as Luke igniting his lightsaber against Vader. You just have to forget that Vader is the most feared man in the galaxy, that had destroyed Luke's whole family, killed millions of people, and had just threatened Luke's last remaining family member.
Sister. Your feelings have now betrayed her too.
You also have to forget that the scene was showing Luke, a young man, being manipulated into slipping to the dark side. Vader pushed him to that reaction.
It is the only way you can save your friends.
Ben was sleeping and, you know, bad thoughts, and Luke's just a Jedi Master with 30 years experience and, well, apparently learnt nothing and will now contemplate murdering someone he has known since birth over bad thoughts. Luke is so angry and fearful over his twin sister and best friend's son's thoughts that he not only went as far as turning on the lightsaber, but he also didn't notice Ben waking and turning around. What a Jedi. Yes, remove all context. Just remove anything we have learnt along the way and everything is great.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not,
Jedi were real.
48 hours later.
What the fuck?
I mean, I know Ryan's script is trash, but what about those directing skills? That expression, that was the take Ryan was happy with. What the fuck is she thinking? Is that even hard for her to do? Ryan doesn't limit himself to spreading falsehoods just in interviews. No. Twitter is his main bullshit sprinkler, where he can really twist the truth. Call him out. You blocked. Ryan recently responded to a meme that makes a joke of how sad Luke has become. Imagine if Obi-Wan had just said no, like old Luke.
Go away.
Well, he didn't because Obi-Wan's a hero.
I need your help, Luke. She needs your help.
Ryan responded by stating, in quite a condescending way, if you actually watch the real scene from the real movie, Luke himself does literally respond with no. Funny, the word no literally doesn't come out of his mouth. But that aside, he is initially reluctant to go as he has a life and responsibilities at home.
I can't get involved. I've got work to do.
You see, young Luke is putting his family first by choosing the farm over an adventure with complete strangers. Old Luke, if you can call him that, is turning his back on his family, choosing to ignore the fact that everyone he knows, plus millions of innocent people, are getting murdered by someone he supposedly helped create. Somehow, ending the Jedi will stop this. How the fuck does Ryan not understand the difference?
I can't get involved. I've got work to do.
Go away. Go away.
Just the same.
Was there any of the criticisms that you read that you may feel is now kind of fair?
No.
So why does this annoy me so much? Why hate Ryan? Now, I fully understand a filmmaker trying to defend their movie. No matter how bad, sometimes things just don't work out. But what separates Ryan from most filmmakers is that Ryan thinks every decision he makes is perfect.
I needed to find a way into why he's on that island that wasn't just him hiding and being a coward. He's actually come to realize that the Jedi have done nothing but add to the problems of the universe.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice.
But Ryan doesn't stop at just defending his own creation. He goes a step further and tries to change George's legacy by trying to change history with lies. And Disney allow him to do it, which leads to dipshit journalists like Mark Ryan repeating this lie. Promote your film, Ryan. Tell people you are the second coming for all I care. But trying to change George Lucas's legacy, that makes you a selfish prick.
That's the thing. But as a kid, I distinctly remember being disappointed by The Empire Strikes Back.
And that's probably the sad truth. Ryan was disappointed, and as we know, Ryan's opinion is the only one that counts. Sorry, millions of fans. You were fucking wrong.
3 years later came The Empire Strikes Back. It was another blockbuster, grossing $365 million so far.
The film that brought us walkers, space battles, a love story, Lando, Boba Fett, an epic lightsaber battle, and one of the biggest reveals in movie history, disappointed Ryan.
That's impossible!
Oh, and don't forget this guy.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
Oh my God, Empire would have gone roasted. If you look at the criticisms of The Last Jedi.
Ryan, I'm sorry you were disappointed, but the rest of us weren't until now.
And I told Brian this, it's no surprise. I said, I just fundamentally disagree with your concept of this character.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm still talking to Lucasfilm. They're figuring out what they're doing, and we'll see what happens. But, you know, I'd be thrilled if it happens, and I'm working on my own stuff, too. And, yeah.
Even back then, it was obvious that Ryan wasn't getting any more Star Wars movies, but time had passed and we were getting close to the release of The Rise of Skywalker. But I still had questions about The Last Jedi, so hit the next video, Dumb Movies for Dumb People.
If you are suffering as much as I am, please tell me. I'm in agony. The closer I get to you, the worse it gets. I can't breathe.
After all this time, I still have so many questions regarding Disney's Star Wars trilogy. Maybe The Rise of Skywalker is going to answer them. Now let's go through just a few of the questions I have and see if they do get answered in episode 9. Oh, and I'm not the only one with questions. While making this video, Disney were kind enough to release their own video with their questions regarding The Rise of Skywalker.
A droid whose sole purpose is to make grilled cheese sandwiches.
Now I know their video was lighthearted.
¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Get out!
But it did show what a clusterfuck this series is and that the only real question is, who are Rey's parents?
Please tell Josh who Rey's parents are.
Who are Rey's parents? Stay strong, Daisy.
Get out! The Disney video did try and remind you that not everything they have made has been complete garbage. So Last Jedi defenders, get ready to jump into that comment section with those lame Disney explanations that either don't make any sense or are scripted after the films to fill in the holes. Now let's start with Poe. We'll skip over the fact that if it wasn't for him, all of the rebels would be dead.
See it. Tally, they've targeted the fleet and begun the priming sequence.
Copy that.
And we'll go with a more simple question. Does Poe have brain damage and an inability to remember people? Because he sometimes likes to introduce himself to someone he has clearly met.
I'm Poe.
Other times, he is totally confused by people he has worked with for years.
That's Admiral Holdo?
And if he's not brain damaged or forgetful, how did Poe not meet Rey until the end of The Last Jedi? How is this possible? He's standing right there. Leia is the only person between you and Rey. Rey was the person who saved BB-8. She's been travelling with Finn. This is the girl Finn's been talking about.
Oh, I need your help.
This is Finn. He needs to talk to you.
But a friend of mine was taken prisoner.
Han told me about the girl.
Poe didn't want to meet the person who saved his precious droid and who Finn wanted to rescue.
Rey!
No one wanted to introduce you.
I'm Poe.
So Poe, your top pilot, had no input as to who went to find Luke. He's right fucking there. What's that, BB-8? You'd like me to meet Poe? No. Just check out how confused Poe looks when they're waving off the Falcon. He has no idea who he's waving to or where they're going. Secondly, and as far as we know, and the movies seem to make it very clear, the Resistance, are all in one group. A group which, since Return of the Jedi, has really dwindled in numbers. Probably because they won the war and have been in charge for 30 years. There's really no need to join them, and actually it's quite sad they still exist. Why do they exist? What were they doing for the 30 years after they won? Poor Leia, we all thought you went off and had a happy family, but no, in Disney Star Wars, your life seems pathetic.
You changed your hair.
Now, it's shown several times that they are one group. Unlike the OT or prequels, this isn't a war with different fronts and battles happening on different planets. Well, not ones that the Resistance are part of. They are just one small, pathetic group.
The Resistance is in that mine.
400 of us. We're the very last of the Resistance.
400 people, and Poe can't remember Holdo.
That's Admiral Holdo?
What? He's never met her or even seen her? 400 people? That's the size of a small school. That would be like the primary school teacher never meeting the principal or even seeing them. And this is an army. He's high ranking. She's now second in command.
The chain of command is clear.
He doesn't even understand that she is in command now. He thinks he will be. How are they just meeting? What is going on? Where was she when they were planning the attack on Starkiller Base? Where was she during the whole of Force Awakens?
For your Dreadnought plan, where we lost our entire bombing fleet.
What don't you get, Holdo? The bombers were thousands of miles from the fleet and they moved at a snail's pace. They would have never made it back in time. Sorry, those bombers are so fucking stupid. I won't start on them again.
400 of us.
400 people. No wonder they're losing. They don't even know each other. And when they do talk, they're as bitchy as fuck.
I've dealt with plenty of trigger-happy flyboys like you. And the last thing we need right now.
Our job's done here. Let's go home.
But we're not alone. The downtrodden and oppressed know our symbol.
Downtrodden and oppressed? If people feel downtrodden and oppressed, it's your fault. Your side's been in charge for 30 years. Those kids would be shit scared of Rose. It's her side letting them sleep in shit.
We are the spark that will light the fire that will restore the Republic.
Light the spark? What are you talking about? The First Order has only been back a day. If only Leia wasn't blown out into space. Speaking of which, why are there soldiers running through the bridge with helmets and blasters? I mean, every scene has an odd amount of people just running backwards and forwards. You'd think under battle conditions, they would all have a job to do. But these guys, what the fuck are they doing? Where are they going? I'd put that down to more excellent direction from Moonhead. Just run around. So, does Poe have brain damage?
I'm Poe.
Does he forget people?
That's Admiral Holdo?
I blame that crash on Jakku where he was thrown clear of the crash. How far was he thrown? A long fucking way, apparently.
What happened to you? What happened? I got thrown from the crash. I woke up at night, no you, no ship, nothing.
He survived, laid there for hours, avoided being captured, avoided all the action, and made it back to the Resistance base without a hint of how he achieved any of this.
I'm Poe. That's Admiral Holdo?
Or maybe it was when he had that kinky session with Kylo. Either way, his brain seems fried. Finn. I have so many questions about Finn. The character I thought would be the most interesting is sadly a joke. Why does Finn behave like he was woken up in a completely foreign universe? Why is he so shocked and surprised by everything he sees?
You can understand that thing?
And that thing can understand you too, so watch it.
In this universe, that has to be completely racist, or speciesist, or whatever you want to call it. Han seems pretty shocked, so much so that he seems nervous to take him out in public.
And whatever you do, don't stare.
At what?
Any of it.
Why is he playing the fish out of water so hard? He's been trained by the most advanced force in the universe. Even his training brings up loads of questions.
Razzle dazzle!
He works in sanitation,
Sanitation?
but has taken on a landing raid. Apparently he's first. He looks a bit old for his first.
On my first battle, I made a choice. I wasn't gonna kill for them.
Knows his way around Starkiller Base and Snoke's ship.
Almost there.
He can fight a bit, but he's really not great at anything. Now, does any of his training include battling other creatures? There was some in that original village. Were they just completely freaking him out? I get being scared in this situation, but he reacts like he didn't even know other creatures existed.
You can understand that thing?
I need help with this giant hairy thing!
Also, he goes from this, which I thought was pretty great, to this. Killing troopers within hours of crying over one dying. If he was taken as a child, wouldn't it be obvious that the other stormtroopers were also child slaves?
Like all of them, I was taken from a family I'll never know.
I understand killing them to survive, but he seems really pumped every time one dies. Except this guy. This guy's sad. Everyone else, he's ecstatic.
Wow! Yeah!
Why isn't he slightly conflicted about killing fellow child slaves? Why does Rose have to teach Finn about child slavery when he was one? Pretty selfish. Why turn what is a really interesting story idea of a defecting soldier and then you just make him a fish out of water buffoon? Who did fly that ship to Crate? It had to be Rose. Wow, her talents were really underutilised if she's good enough to fly an enemy ship while it's being chased by TIE fighters, even through that small hole. How did she know to go to Crate?
What is that?
How did she know where the tiny base was on the planet? How come the TIE fighters could attack this shuttle, but not the fleeing shuttles? Why was the door left open? And this one. Why did they change the position of the on switch on Anakin's lightsaber? That is not the switch for Anakin's lightsaber. No.
Blaster.
Yes. Even the friggin' toys get it right.
Force action lightsaber.
Why did they move the gunner position of the Millennium Falcon? Looking up, looking down, still at the bottom, now looking out the rear. This was a cool idea in space, how they could just move into a different position and face at a different angle. But on the ground, Finn can move into the same position without gravity affecting him. Who did tell the kids this story? These are the only witnesses, and their version would be really weird. They wouldn't even know who the disappearing dude was. And he disappeared.
There's been an awakening. Have you felt it?
There's been an awakening, has there? What was it? Because so far in the story, Rey still doesn't know the Force is real, or that Jedi existed.
The Jedi were real.
Oh, here we go. Why doesn't Kylo Ren have a scar where Chewie blasted him? He was bleeding and everything. Not even a scratch.
Can I try that?
Why has Han never tried Chewie's gun before? They've been together most of his life.
I like this thing.
And this one's sad. Why doesn't Chewie go home? Chewie, just go be with your own kind. You're gonna outlive all of them anyway. The party's over, buddy. All your friends are dead. Go be with your family. Why did Mark Hamill have to convince Rian Johnson that he should acknowledge C-3PO and not just walk past him? And most importantly, where the fuck is R2-D2? Arguably one of the most loved pop culture icons, and Disney hate him. Stick that hairdryer up your ass. We want R2.
R2-D2, Your Highness.
You did it!
Now, I haven't even touched on all the questions I have around Kylo Ren. That'll need its own video. Who knows? Maybe those questions will be answered in The Rise of Skywalker. Then again, probably not.
Oh, they fly now!
They fly now! They fly now!
Now, I did just mention in that video that Kylo Ren had so many questions he'd need his own video. Well, here it is.
Show me again the power of the darkness. Show me, grandfather, and I will finish what you started.
Stop it! You miserable, whiny little shit!
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad.
Star Wars obviously has the best villain of all time, Darth Vader. It took exactly this long to realise this guy should be feared, and then for 3 straight films his power was never in question. Right up to Vader's redemption he was always intimidating, never out of control, never erratic, cool, calm and in charge. And as far as costumes go, there is none better. We also understood why Luke wanted to help him. Their relationship made sense, and luckily there was no forced, cheesy love story. We had to wait for the prequels for that, and even that love story made way more sense than this shit.
Do you have something, a cowl or something you could put on?
They actually spent time together and he avoided slaughtering people in front of her. What a strong woman. Now it's pretty obvious that JJ and Kathleen Kennedy had no real interest in using the original characters. George had convinced Mark, Carrie and Harrison to come back, and now George was gone.
I sold them to the white slavers that take these things and
Okay, but Kathleen was stuck with them and had little interest in continuing their story. It was easier to reset one back to his younger self, which made him pathetic, and they changed the other 2 into completely different characters. All very stupid. Now, what's even more confusing than Kathleen's and JJ's lack of interest in the OT characters and what they could have done with them is their lack of interest in their own new characters that they created. Finn, who we all thought would have the most interesting story, was wasted. Poe became watered down Han.
You were a space runner?
You were a stormtrooper? Were you a spice runner?
Were you a scavenger?
Rey's boring perfection. And Kylo. Well, Kylo is the biggest mystery. And not just his ever-changing level of power, but also his confusing relationship with, well, everyone. Now, this may come as a surprise, but I liked Kylo at the start. JJ got it right with that entrance, and it's my favourite scene from the 3 Disney sequels.
Look how old you've become.
To be fair, it doesn't have much competition, as it was followed by hours of shit.
You were so right.
The entrance had everything I think a reboot needs. It felt like Star Wars and had things we hadn't seen before. Kylo came out looking powerful and in charge, had a nice intimidating quality, and seemed ruthless. That wasn't to last long. Now, I didn't mind the first time he did this because I thought he would grow from here, but by the time these scenes happened, he just seemed pathetic. You really need to feel that your villain is intelligent enough and powerful enough to have gotten to the position they were in. Vader understood his power and when to use it. Kylo can't decide when to use his powers. He's so confusing. Actually, everything around him is confusing. The timeline of events, how old he was when he went off with Luke, how long had he hated Luke? Because surely this wasn't enough to send him on a rampage to kill everyone.
What you doing, Uncle Luke?
Thought I heard something. I get Luke made him live in a wooden hut, which honestly would make me want to kill everyone as well. I bet Kylo longed for the days when the Jedi lived in luxury penthouses, and this is when times are supposedly good and Luke is a universal hero. Come on, Padme, let's go live in a wooden hut with no electricity or toilet.
Anakin, I'm afraid.
You will be.
Kylo must have been the star student, because look how many of the others he killed. They couldn't even defend themselves.
He had vanished with a handful of my students.
He took a group with him. How long was Luke under there? He did all of this and convinced some of them to go with him?
He had vanished with a handful of my students.
Other students joined in? How bad was Jedi camp that a group turned on their friends and killed them just to get away from Luke and his crappy training? This group he took, are they the Knights of Ren? No. Well then what happened to those students? Just some rogue Jedi students tripping around the universe who also hate Luke. Great. Why was all this skipped over? This seems an interesting part of the story. May have also explained why he hates his parents so much. Imagine that. Imagine if they spent time on the story. Everyone around Kylo seems to be in a different movie to him and just as confused.
Take that ridiculous thing off.
Everyone that is except his dad. Han is the only person who acts like he's in the same story.
I miss you, son.
Even if he did spend years looking for the Falcon instead of his son.
We're home.
But Ben, out of the 2 of your parents, you should have cut... Bad pun. You should have cut your dad some slack. He at least cared, not like the other one. But we'll get to her. What about all these people? Did any of them grow up with Ben? Did any of them know him before he became Kylo? You think some of the girls would have remembered? Rey was ready to jump on him after he'd held her captive and killed someone in front of her. Imagine how charming he was before his slaughtering torture phase. If only we had some idea of what Ben's life was like before he became Kylo. But hey, we just didn't have time for that across these 3 very long films. This lost opportunity of a more meaningful Ben story was summed up beautifully in an illustration by Tyson Murphy. A simple telling of Ben and Chewie's relationship that has more feeling than the whole Disney trilogy. In these films, Chewie doesn't even recognise Ben. To be fair, he acts like he's had a lobotomy through most of the 3 films. Maybe he's been hanging out with Itchy too much. Oh, that awful feeling when you realise the holiday special has a more believable love story than Reylo. Leia is the worst at recognising who Kylo is. She forgets he's her own son. Yes, her only son.
Leia told me that she had sensed the death of her son at the end of her Jedi path.
That's why I wanted him to train with Luke. I just never should have sent him away. That's when I lost him.
She makes no attempt to talk to him, no attempt at bringing him around or saving him, which would save everyone else. She gave parenting a shot, and it wasn't for her apparently.
Leia knows what must be done, Auntie.
I am starting to understand why he hates her. She even set up Han to be killed.
There's still light in him, I know it. You're his father. If you see our son, bring him home.
Ben! Son of a bitch. I'm not going out there. Did you see what he did to Han? She even has time for a little comedy while her only son and twin brother fight to the death.
What are you looking at me for? Follow him.
She doesn't even have to be convinced to leave. Mother of the Year. Quick, let's go before I have to talk to that loser.
I was just there. This man, this wizard, he took me to a castle.
Stop.
And
Stop! Stop it! You miserable, whiny little shit! You could have killed us!
Mark Hamill saw the new version of Luke as Jake Skywalker. Carrie, what did you think of this new, selfish version of Leia?
I like cocaine.
Yes, for some bizarre reason, once Dad is gone, the only person who cares for him at all is virtually a stranger. So where did the strange, inconsistent character of Kylo Ren come from? Who was responsible for this mess? Who thought up Kylo?
The villain in the movie Be Young. He's in the midst of adolescent angst.
And Kathy's like, Adam Driver.
Adolescent angst? Adam Driver? Yes, nothing says adolescent angst like a married man in his 30s. And people say she's not creative and that money doesn't make JJ agree to anything.
And Kathy's like, Adam Driver. We're like, mic drop.
Calm down, JJ, you've already got the job. So Kylo started life as a confused man-child character from the get-go, acting out teenage angst in a man's body. Listen, adolescent angst, interesting. Adam Driver, also interesting. But you can't have both as the one character. You can't say your story's about a young girl and then hire Ving Rhames to play her. Actually, these days, you probably should if you want to get work and not be seen as a cunt. Need you. He's a grown-ass man acting like a teenager, and it was on purpose. No wonder Star Wars has attracted a new crowd. He's a teenage wet dream. Kylo becomes such an afterthought in this story, a story that should be about him, that the last time he says something in a 2-hour and 22-minute movie is at the 1-hour, 26-minute mark, nearly an hour with no dialogue. And at the end of the series, I would have liked one scene with Kylo and Leia together, but now I'd just be satisfied if they gave him a line of dialogue in the last hour of the movie. Literally thrown out of the scene so Rey Palpatine can shine. The Jedi come back to help her and not the Skywalker bloodline, his own relatives. And if the film had finished here, with Rey dead and Kylo alive, it would have been slightly redeemed and a lot more interesting. Don't do it. Their history together screams romance. Intergalactic trailer trash romance. Then he just lays down dead. Doesn't even get a Force Ghost. What a waste. Poor Adam. He can at least act, not like some people. And he tried. If I'd watched the start of Force Awakens and then was in a serious car crash that had me going in and out of a coma, and I was only catching some of the Adam Driver scenes, I may have thought Kylo was great. But sadly, I haven't been in a coma, and I witnessed all the other scenes as well. All of it is in my brain now forever. Luckily, it's the end of the world, so forever will be quick. Kylo Ren is the perfect example of bad writing. Full of hate for very little reason, full of revenge for very little reason, and full of horniness for very little reason. Not a Sith, not a Jedi, just a tantrum-throwing, confused man-child.
Rest in peace, Kylo. We did have such high hopes.
Tell me what? No! No! No!
So, we come to the last video in the Last Jedi series, and this time we look at Rian's directing skills, which in the Last Jedi were terrible.
I don't want to freak anybody out here, but I think we just made a Star Wars movie.
Last Jedi left some fans shocked by Luke Skywalker's story. Looking back, would you change anything in your script, or do you stand by all your choices?
Nope, stand by every choice.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad.
The news is out that Rian wants to come back. Not just his 3 films. No, he's not happy with that. He wants a shot of The Mandalorian because he wants to work on something people actually like. But I think we should keep that little fucker away. Now, the fans of The Last Jedi are going to be very excited by this news, which is to be expected. They think Rian Johnson is a god. Some even think he invented cinematography. But more surprisingly is that some of the people that absolutely hated The Last Jedi don't seem to have an issue with him directing The Mandalorian, because they seem to think it was just the writing that was the problem with that film. And I hate to differ, but you're fucking wrong. I don't even know how you'd separate the writer from the director when it's the same person. What do you think he was on set looking at this shot going, that's a fucking stupid idea, but I have to do it because, you know, it's in the script. Now, this news came from the amazing Sarah Wilson. Is it Sarah? I'm not sure. Sorry. Oh, is that her? I think Sarah might have had a bit of work. But anyway, she works on USA Today. She's a mum, a best-selling author, and a huge Raylo. I wonder how many books you need to get on the bestseller list. 3,000 to 5,000 at 99 cents a book. That's a small investment to get on the bestseller list. Oh my God, Robot Head's Erotic Stories is coming out. Now, Sarah was lucky enough to interview the amazing Rian Johnson. And because they're both into romance novels, they got along like a house on fire. Anyway, Sarah was lucky enough to confirm with us that Ryan's still getting his 3 Star Wars films, which I say, thank fuck, because I got to pay for that Cybertruck somehow. But not just that, he's incredibly interested in directing one of the Mandalorian episodes, which is fucking incredible news. But I still think we should put a stop to this, because I don't think he's that good.
Great, I got it.
Now, when you think of a good director, you think of their strengths. Are they great with actors and can bring out a great performance? Or are they better at handling action scenes? Is spectacle their thing? Or is their main skill asking the digital department to turn the saturation up to full? Because I'm sure people that say this film looks great also think sunset photos are the height of photography. I think if you take away the effects, the sets, and the sound effects, you are left with a very pedestrian director. But in case I'm wrong, let's go through and check a few scenes to see what a great job he did. I'm never too keen to relive this. First, getting the best out of the actors. Now, it is up to the director to explain what a scene needs to the actor and what delivery the actor should be going for.
Wait, should it be like this? Finn or Finn?
I want you to...
Or Finn.
How about Finn with 2 commas after Finn?
George Lucas famously only had one piece of advice for his actors, and that was to do it faster. George was lucky enough to have a lot of talent around him. Harrison would tell him to his face that his lines were crap.
I said to George, you can type this stuff, but you can't say it.
He'd also tell Mark Hamill to have the confidence to do the scenes the way he wanted. Carrie was there to rewrite the script, and George's wife was also there to support the actors and their ideas. Not only that, he could turn to her to cut the film in the end.
The winners are Paul Hirsch, Marshall Lucas, and Richard Chew for Star Wars.
Now, Rian doesn't have that type of help because Rian's ego won't allow it. So we get some truly terrible takes, sadly from a lot of people that can actually act, if they're working with the right director.
Hugs.
Check out that facial expression. That's a wonderful bit of directing there. That was the best take, apparently, because it really is more interesting if you don't have your actors constantly doing the blatantly obvious expressions and delivery for every shot. Losing hope. Look as miserable as possible. Angry. Take it to 11 every time. Romance. Have a grown man act like a teenage boy. And there's some great direction. Just have Chewie sit there, doing nothing. Also love all the shots that are just done with the other actor just saying all their lines off screen as someone looks miserable.
He's only getting stronger. The First Order will control all the major systems within weeks.
One of the other amazing talents that Rian shows off when directing is his blocking, or simply setting up the shot and where the actor should stand. The New York Film Academy describes it as blocking a scene is simple, working out the details of an actor's moves in relation to the camera. You can also think of blocking as the choreography of a dance or ballet. All the elements on the set, actors, extras, vehicles, crew, equipment, should move in perfect harmony with each other. So yes, let's look at Rian's beautiful choreography. Well, already we've lost Poe in the shot. Again, some great directing here where she just ignores him and looks busy in what's one of the most uncomfortable setups for a scene I've ever witnessed. I mean, look at that framing. Could it look more fucking awkward? I've seen drunk uncles frame more interesting shots after a fight at Christmas. With good direction, you should just be in the scene, not reminded you are looking through the frame of a camera the whole time. This isn't a director creating a great shot. This is someone awkwardly trying to virtue signal. And then in the very next scene shows how stupid and shoved in they were. All 5 of them shoved in that little space and then nothing. Except for the 2 droids plonked straight in the foreground for no reason at all. Some films are so beautifully shot, you just feel like you could take any frame out and it would make a wonderful photo. Not so much this film.
Okay, so we'll put one girl here, one here, getting there, one there, and one here. Oh, this is so powerful. I'm the perfect male feminist. Oh, we'll just shove Poe in here. Perfect. He looks so tiny. This will make Empire look like shit.
Some of Ryan's camera technique choices really astound me. One is the dolly shot where you have a camera on a track so it can be moved really smoothly. Now, this shot can be used in really interesting ways, but not with Ryan. Every time Ryan needs a bit of emotion, he starts moving the camera in. Yes, film class 101. Oh, when you're not just dollying in, dolly out on a long shot. We didn't have time for the Knights of Ren in this film, but we've got time for this depressing long look at Leia. All we need is oh, thank God, there it is, the second view. Oh, when the action starts moving, just slightly dolly in and out, but a little bit faster. The second technique Ryan completely overuses in the most boring way possible is the close-up.
It feels so good to be zoomed in.
Now, the close-up can be an amazingly powerful shot, but not the way Ryan uses it. Now, while some directors will use their imagination and camera skill to direct the audience to what they want them to look at or what's important in a scene, Ryan just does a hard-ass close-up on anything he thinks is important. Switch, close-up, book, close-up, touching wood, close-up, close-up on bracelet. And if it's not a close-up on the hand so we know exactly where to look, it's a close-up on the face. Just constant close-ups on the face. Close-up, helmet, close-up of the helmet. I've never seen a director that is so reliant on the close-up to give a scene context. There's no directing of the eye with the camera. It's just pointed at the thing you want us to look at. What wonderful direction. Extreme close-up of face, extreme close-up of item, and back to face again. We ever seen that before? Make sure you've got that hard close-up of the next item we're about to see. Because Rose couldn't have just pulled this out. We had to see her take it out of the buckle. Directing 101. Heck me. Or close-ups. You could count the close-up shots on one hand in the original trilogy.
He feared you might follow old Obi-Wan on some damn fool idealistic crusade like your father did.
And don't look at a masterpiece like The Godfather. That movie would be lucky to have 3 close-ups in the whole film. Oh, we're getting ready for emotions. I hope there's some close-ups. Yes, here they come. Close-up, close-up, close-up again, and close-up. Every single time. We just close-up on the face and close-up what the hands are doing. Bravo for the direction. Oh, nothing says direction like Leia in space. Close-ups on faces and close-ups on hands. How many times we're going to do that in this film? And again, the way he sets up people. I mean, this shot at the window is just fascinating. And of course, Fitter's at the back looking like an idiot. And look at the direction of that body movement. Just hold the one stiff, dead position the whole way through. Close-up, 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 close-up. Look interested. Usually when I think of great directors, I don't think about how fucking boring every scene is and how much time is wasted. Look in locker, look at item, grab item. All the directing is so literal. Fuck's sake, have some flair. So much wasted time in this crap. And remember, we gave up the Knights of Ren for this. Again, if you're going to the film school of bleeding obvious direction,
give it to me one more time, simpler.
If you're sneaking around, you got to duck down and make it as obvious as possible.
I can't see yours. Just you. Just you.
And don't forget every decision to make Finn look like an idiot. That wasn't just in the script. Close up. Every time you see him look fucking stupid, that was a decision made on set by Ryan watching him. Ryan sat there as director and watched this cool looking black dude look like a fuckwit in every scene. And he sat there happy. Tell me again about how he's a great director?
Whoa! Yeah!
Oh, no, here's some great direction, where the depth of field and landscape don't look in perspective. Now, with the great directing here, if you look at this scene, how far away is that fucking rock meant to be? And how big is it? Then, spinny, she's right up next to it. Just look at that again. Nowhere near the rock. Can't even tell how big that fucking rock is. The framing's so shit. And then spin. Oh, so the rock looks that far, it looks like you'd have to step down, walk across the grass, and you'd be near it. And the thing would be 30 foot fucking high. But somehow she spins around, and she's right next to the fucking thing. Oh, no, she's not. She's further back again. Is she near the fucking rock or not? Close-up of item. Can't forget that close-up. Everything's got to be blatantly obvious. Oh, lightsaber. Stick. Lightsaber. Again, how far is she from that rock now? Why is perspective not important to Rian Johnson? Oh, she's back next to it. Oh, you'd be swinging that thing that close to your head. And again, for directing brilliance, this has to be one of my favourite scenes. As I've said before, the kids swinging the broomstick in the backyard. So as I can't think of one interaction between any characters in this film that has any interesting direction at all, let's see how he goes with the action, because I'm sure he must be good at that then. Oh dear. I know. Oh, I should really do a video on those bombers. As we've established, this action scene is fucking laughable. But somehow the people that say they didn't like Last Jedi excuse all of this because they say it's just the script. Did the script say, make this scene fucking stupid? I mean, this isn't pathetic either. Directing the actors to be all joyful and happy in the middle of everyone getting massacred. And yes, this would have been in the script as well, but you think on set, you might fucking wake up a bit. There's some of my favourite direction. That guy turning around to look at Kylo's fist. They're exploding a dude out in the sand with 1,000 million fucking trillion shots. He's screaming his head off. And for some reason, his hand catches his eye and he turns to stare at it. And that's the bit that disturbs him. The script might have said, that's enough. But it's on set that you've really got to make them scream like fucking lunatics.
That's enough! More!
These go to 11.
Now, amongst all this confused talk about Ryan's directing abilities, he seems to also be getting a lot of credit for the cinematography in this film, which, sorry to his cinematographer, fuck you. But I think people are getting confused about what makes good cinematography. Because you see, when I think of good cinematography, I'm thinking of a world I've entered. Interesting shots, choices of lenses, how the camera movement makes me feel, how it directs me through a scene, the way a shot's beautifully framed and not just someone in front of a green screen with the background drawn in.
I'm sure you are.
A look and feel that suits the story I'm in, because this film looks like a fucking stage show and looks nothing like the other Star Wars movies. And this isn't about a changing time and a different era. It's about choosing the right type of cinematography for the story you're telling. Let me see if I can explain this clearer with the help of Roger Deakins, who is easily one of my favourite cinematographers. You might have heard of him, and if you haven't, I bet you've watched some of his films. His plethora of work is just a collection of some of the greatest looking films you've ever seen. And they can all look so different. He hasn't got one bag of tricks, and he doesn't rely on oversaturation like some kind of fucking idiot. But anyway, Roger doesn't speak like me, so let's just get a few quotes from him to help understand what I'm saying.
I think people confuse pretty with good cinematography. What was it Freddie Francis says? There was good cinematography and bad cinematography, and then there's the cinematography that's right for the movie. And I often feel that actually if reviewers don't mention your work, it's probably better than if they do. It means it actually works because the film is a piece.
That's right. You're confusing pretty for cinematography. That's not storytelling. Your favourite films might have memorable scenes that you love or talk about, but you don't just talk about it for how it looks, which is what we see every fucking day about The Last Jedi. Yes, every day some dickhead's putting up a photo of that fucking throne room scene and just praising and ejaculating all over the place. The fact that the scene is ridiculous, the action is terrible, nothing makes fucking sense, doesn't bother these people. It's colourful and bright. It's like keys in front of a fucking baby. Knives Out could be the greatest film you've ever seen, but not every director can do every style of film. Fucking keep him away from Star Wars. He's hopeless with the people, he's terrible at the action, and he's completely uninventive as a director. So if you love Last Jedi, I've got some great sunset shots you'd love to see. But if you hate it, don't just blame the script. His directing's just as fucking bad. But who are we kidding? We'll be lucky to see The Mandalorian again. And Ryan's not getting a directing job. And he's not getting his 3 films. Which sadly for me means I won't be able to pay for that Cybertruck.
Great, I got it.
So there you have it, 9 videos over 3 years, 30 million views in total. Much love from the fans, and quite a bit of hate from the shills. What a crazy ride. And I'm glad you've been here for it. Cheers, my friends.